Hi everyone, so as promised, today I'm going to take you through a huge haul of everything I've bought for this home ed year. I am thinking I'm probably going to go through child to child so you can get an idea of what's for each year group, sort of age group, and just do a bit of a brief explanation as to why I bought it. I might do a more in-depth sort of timetable of what I'm going to be doing with each child. Some things are obviously for more than one child and explain that as I do it. So let's get into the haul. So the first set of things I'm going to show you are things that are for all three or more than one of my children. So I found this in a charity shop for 50p. It's the Wind in the Willows full-length film. The original, it's like a really old version. We are hoping to do a book study on The Wind in the Willows. I may do it with all three because I think it's probably suitable. Obviously, I'll read it to my 6-year-old. And so I thought this would be a nice thing to do as a comparison. This is just craft paper. We're going to use this a lot in our history and just arts and crafts. It's a big roll of craft paper. These actually came broken, but it doesn't matter. It's just packaging. These are these sentence cubes, so you roll the dice and this is like the start of the sentence. So it's like, our father, and then you go through and it writes a sentence. And then I was going to use this for copy work, probably mainly for my 8-year-old, but my 6-year-old as well. So then they would write down their sentences and it would be funny, but also it might start a story or prompt them to do something. I got these, it came in a pack of 3, so I think all 3 of them can use it. My eldest has hypermobility. My 8-year-old, one of the main things we're working on this year is handwriting, and obviously my 6-year-old could use these as well. So I just got the pack of 3 for them. I'll move these out of the way. This is just a game that I found for £2 at the charity shop, Go for Broke. It says the race is on to try and squander £1 million as fast as you can. Spend wildly, gamble your money away and go for broke. I thought it was a fun opposite to Payday that we have for our money subject, and just a great game to have in. So it's likely it will be for my 2 older children, but my 6-year-old gives games like a real good go, so we'll see. Now, George Clarke's How to Build a Home. We have the money one, the Deborah Meaden one from the library. My 8-year-old is super into architecture and we may do an architecture unit, so I just had to get this one. I was excited to see it. My 12-year-old has already read this and she loved it, so she might go back and explore it again. So from now on it's probably going to be read independently by my 8-year-old and I'll read it with my 6-year-old. And then we have 2 copies. Oh, that's the wrong one. I'll find the other copy. Where is it? I have 2 copies of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This one was secondhand from World of Books. This one I got in a big stack with 6 other books, Roald Dahl books, for £5 from a bookseller who was stopping selling books. So I got both of them for a really good price. And this is we're going to do a book study on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by the HomeEdUK way. And so we needed a copy each because my 12-year-old is going to read it independently and I'll read it with my 8-year-old. So that's really exciting. That's what we're actually starting the year with after we finish our money unit study. And the last one is, we used to have the original Orchard toys pop to the shops where it didn't include money, but because that's something we want to work on, because our children use American curriculum, money is sometimes missed. So I thought this would be a really good game for the boys mostly. I don't know that my 12-year-old would be interested, but she might be. So yeah, you use actual money it says a fun shopping game. Learn about handling money and giving change as you move from shop to shop using play money to buy all kinds of items. So yeah, that looks really great. We love Orchard toy games, as you'll see. So that is the ones that are kind of a mix for everyone. Now I'll move on to what I've got for my 12-year-old. So for my 12-year-old, there isn't a huge amount. We have been home educating her for longer, and we really explored what we already had and created a morning basket with what we already had. She also has a tutor for maths and English, so I don't need to provide those things. something you can't see in this selection is she's got really into jewellery making, and so we're constantly buying beads and extras for that, but she did do a little selection the last time she was at the shop. She also wants some paint pens and a few different art supplies as well, so we'll just get them as and when she needs them. So first of all, we've got the big subjects for beginners. As you know, if you've watched my previous videos, we're using the money one out of this for our money unit study, but we're currently using this in our morning basket, so we're just going through them. So this one has philosophy for beginners, politics for beginners, business for beginners, economics for beginners, and money for beginners. And then, because we love that series so much, we actually had chemistry first. We also got physics for beginners, so we'll be looking through that one at some point in the year as well. She loves these funny fill-ins or Mad-Libs. So if you don't know what they are, you have to come up with a word for each one of these things. So type of vehicle, car, aeroplane, whatever, noun, adjective. So it really gets them to work out their grammar and things as well, which is really, really good. And then you put those words into the story where it tells you, and then it ends up being a really funny story. She has quite a few of these ones. I want to say she has the Star Wars one. She might also have a Christmas one, but she has a few different ones of these and she loves doing them. So that was just a fun little activity I got for her. This is an activity she's going to do during morning basket. It's a really lovely book. So it's like sort of writing prompts, really. So for every day of the year, it says, when you spend time with a close friend, what positive attributes do they demonstrate or bring out in you? Notice any feelings that arise as you consider your friendships. Write about your thoughts. And then this one says, take a moment to be grateful. Taking a moment to be grateful can create a positive mindset and help us handle the ups and downs of each day. Draw a picture of a garden. In your garden, instead of flowers or vegetables, write out positive words of gratitude sprouting from the ground. So I'd like her to sort of spend about 10 minutes a day doing this when she decides to do this as her activity for the morning basket. So yeah, that's a really beautiful one. And then, as I said, with that one Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, it came with, it was a pack of 6. So it has Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, Easiotrot, Matilda, which we love Matilda. And again, we might end up doing a book study on Matilda because we love the movie. The Magic Finger, and George's Marvellous Medicine, which is one of my favourite Roald Dahl books. We also got her, she loved these exit games. We had a Star Wars one. It wasn't by Exit the Game brand, it was by a different brand. I'll see if I can find it, and it was just brilliant. So she's got really into The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, so we've done that one. There's also a few other things. So there's Lord of the Rings or Hobbit top trumps. We're trying to decide which one to play together in our morning basket. And then also there is a book that I mentioned when I was talking about her morning basket, and it's for, I think it's like the guide to socializing for people with autism or other logical thinkers, something like that. I'll link it below. I'll write down what it is actually called below, but we're still waiting on that. It's because I ordered it from HomeEdUK, so that kind of takes a long time. But that's everything we've got for her. Like I said, the book study we're going to be doing is from HomeEdUK Way on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, so we will be purchasing that and printing that as well. I think this is everything for my 8-year-old. There is quite a lot here. So first of all, this is just a really basic exercise book, which I'm going to do copy work, spelling, that kind of thing in, and also kind of goes along with the draw right now. If you've seen these, I've been wanting to get them for ages. So you do copy work, but you don't do it in the book, which is kind of lovely, because then so there's a drawing tutorial and then there's copy work. So the copywork isn't in the book, so there you can reuse it as your children get older. This is the second book, I want to say. Book 2, yeah. So I think book 1 would be more suited for my younger child, but that I couldn't find it anywhere. So this is just going to be copywork, and he loves the drawing tutorials on YouTube. So I thought this could be useful, like how to draw the person. Yeah, so that's going to be really fun. So it's a picture based on the piece of text that they're copyworking. So copywork is basically copying what is written in your own handwriting, and it just helps with punctuation, grammar, spelling, handwriting. It helps with a lot of things, and because we're working so much on his handwriting and spelling this year, I thought this was a good thing to add. So these two kind of go together. Like my daughter, he has not had one before, but she has done them with him, like as for fun. So he loves cats, so I just got the cats one, and this one's the Ad-Libs one, so but the same. It has like all of the different things, word list, and then it tells you the number and the type of word that you have to do, and then it makes a funny story. This we technically didn't purchase, but it's completely unused, and this is the Minecraft Science and Environment official workbook. He is Minecraft obsessed, and I just thought it would be really fun. My daughter didn't use it at all, so that's why I've included it. Then these were 50p each at a charity shop. To be honest, they're probably quite easy for him, but yeah, they're just like fun little reading books that he can do. So there's an Ninjago movie one, Shark Attack, and then there's Star Wars, Lego, Secrets of the Dark Side. This again was my daughter's, and she never used it. Again, it's just to encourage that writing. There's so many cool prompts and things to get them writing, and yeah, he'll just use this. This one's obviously about a crime, but we'll just see how much he's interested in that. This one, I have ordered the 5 to 6 age for my youngest, and it's got lost in the post or something, because they did send me a message on Amazon and say, we're sorry, we'll give you a refund. So this is all about grammar and punctuation, but I like it because it's white clean. So if he gets it wrong, or if he wants to re-go over some of the ideas in it, he can. And again, that's just to help him with his grammar, punctuation, his writing. This one was just a bit of fun. It was recommended to me from a friend, and he is really into money at the moment. He's also obsessed with cats. So this kind of like adds maths into this fun activity of having pet kittens. It starts off at the beginning like a story, like you have rescued some kittens, and you get to pick which kittens you want to look. So you get to pick 4, and then you get to name them. It's so cute. This one is a watercolour book. He's got really into watercolour, and he's so good at it, but it's really hard to do watercolour without the proper paper. So I made sure to get him some proper paper for that. Another area that I feel he could use some work is telling the time. So this just was from a charity shop for £1.50. Another Orchard Toys Tell the Time game. And it says age 5 to 9. He's 8, so it might be a bit simple, but just my 6-year-old can get involved as well, which is nice. Although he's really good at telling the time, so we'll see. They're probably on a similar level. But yeah, just a game to help with that. And another area of maths we wanted to work on is times tables, his multiplications. And this is so good. So you just go like 5 times 4 is 20, and you just pop down the one that it is. I just think it will be a fun way to add that recognition in for him. And then again from the charity shop, I saw this timber kits. I've seen these in craft shops and they were like, I want to say they're about £30. So £2 for this completely sealed is just such a steal. It doesn't come with paints. He can leave it unpainted or painted, but it's like a mechanical thing that you build. I just thought this would be a fun project for him to do, maybe with his dad, we'll see. Now, I am umming and ahhing about whether I should save one of these for Christmas because I went a bit crazy. These games are not English. Think Fun is not English, and everywhere these games are over £30 for one game. I think I got all 3 games for less than £35 secondhand on eBay. So this one is the Laser Maze. These are all one-player games. So basically, you have a tray. Oh, I'll turn it around so it's a bit easier to see. You have a tray with a laser and then there's mirrors, and you have to place them in the right place so that it can meet the reflect and you know, meet all together. So this one's the laser one, which I just thought looked really cool. And so what they tell you is, I think they'll tell you where the end point is and maybe where one of the mirrors is, and then you've got to figure out where the others go for it to work. So there's that one, the laser one. Then this one I had like a little play with, I got so excited. The roller coaster one, similar idea. They show you where the start and the end point is, and you have to work out where all the other pieces go. They do give you how many of each piece is used as like hints and clues. But again, then there's like a little carriage and it has to ride all the way to the end. That's when you know you've completed it. And like I said, each one of these was about £10 to £12 with delivery. This one I think he's going to be most excited for because it's the circuit one. So I think I'm not sure how it shows you if it's done it. So what does it say? It lights up. So if it lights up, you know that the circuit has worked. And again, they'll give you like beginning and end, and you've got to work out how to do it, and it gets harder, the different cards that you use. So I think that's everything for my 8-year-old. So we'll move on to my 6-year-old now. On to my 6-year-old, I got him the same exercise book, and likely we'll need to get them some new ones as the years go on, as the year goes on, because it's only a small one, but he can just feel like he's got the same as his big brother and do some copy work, some spelling, that kind of thing, writing down. He'll feel like a big boy with his own book. So yeah, that's for my 6-year-old. Then I got what your first grader needs to know. This is quite an old version, but I think, does it change that much? But I'm trying to find the contents here. So it just kind of takes you through everything, science, and I'm hoping it will give me some ideas as well. Some people just literally use this as an exercise book and read through everything, history and geography, music, visual arts, language and literature. So I'm just going to use this as, there's some stories, poetry sort of things. I'm just going to use this as and when I feel that I'm sort of stuck or concerned where we're at. So I just think it'll be a really useful one. And this was really reasonable, secondhand on eBay. This one I literally found today in Home Bargains, and I just thought, because phonics and sight words is our main areas we are trying to concentrate on for him, because he just is struggling with reading. So this just was a fun little one, and the stickers, look. Yeah, so look, it's really basic. It's just add the beginning letter. As you go on, I think, further, yeah, it's like add the beginning or end sound. That's just going to get a bit harder, or like rhyming words. All of this looks really, really good. And I think if we're having one of those days that we have a lot on and he can just do 1 or 2 pages of this, then that's better than nothing. At least he's got something done. I think he could probably do this completely independently, and it might build up his confidence a bit. So that one was 99p. These I showed in a video a few weeks back. They're from Lidl. They were £2.49, I believe, each, or £2.99 each. Really, really reasonable. We have the space one, I want to say, and another one as well that he loves. So I was just adding to the series. So look inside your body. He always has, what 6-year-old doesn't have loads of questions about that? So I got that one, and look inside how things work. This again, he really wants to be a mechanic. I thought that could work well with that, but also if we do architecture in the future, another good one for that. I got these. These are really great. So they have all of the common exception words, sight words, that for year 1 and year 2, and they're colour coordinated. So the year ones are in green and the year 2 are like in a yellowy orange. He is technically going into year 2, but he's slightly behind. So what I've done already is I've taken out the ones, well, I've put them back in now, but I've written down the ones he still needs to learn for year 1, and I've kind of made like a plan moving forward to get those done. And we'll just use this as a guide and add in when he's mastered them. So they're just really great little sight word cards. These paints, because we always need more paints. We need some for history and things, and they're just really basic little paints that aren't going to get ruined. This one I got secondhand from eBay. These are number bonds. Basically number bonds is what I'm using it for, because that's an area of maths I notice. Number bonds up to 20 is what we need to be working on, and these do go above 10. They go up to 20, so I thought that would be a fun game to encourage that. More sight word things. We have the a few learning resources games. We have a money bingo one, and they really love it. It's a really basic game, but I thought sight word would be really good for him. So yeah, his big brother will probably play this with him, but know all the words. And then we've got this, another kind of thing to do with phonics, and yeah, just getting that down. This one, there is a simpler one, and this one's the 5+ one, and I just thought this would be a bit better suited than the more basic one for him. So we'll see how we go, but yeah, most of these sounds I'm sure he could do, but it's just, again, encouraging that knowledge just from sight and not sounding things out. With a lot of phonics for him, he still tries to sound like ph instead of making the f straight away. So that's kind of what we're working on. And then finally for him, we are going to be using the Good and the Beautiful math one. He's done the Math K kindergarten, which is like year 1 level. It's a bit different in America. He's completed that. He loved it. Completed it in about 6 months. I do think it was probably a bit easy for him, but I just really wanted him to get used to a different curriculum and make sure there was no gaps. And definitely with like telling the time, months of the year, that kind of thing, there was gaps. So we've really solidified them now. And this is just the math box that comes with it, that I got secondhand through a Facebook group instead of ordering from America. Last year, I just made it myself with resources I found on like Amazon. But it was really helpful for me to just have the box this time, and it cost me about £10. So really quite reasonable. And then the curriculum itself is free to download, so I just need to download that and print that off. So other than any unit studies, so it's like a big mess now. Other than any unit studies that I purchased throughout the year, the only other thing I've got as well, like art supply wise, was I bought 2 or 3 packs of colouring pens and a few things like that that we needed, and they've already been used. But yeah, we usually do year-round home ed, so to be honest, the kids are just desperate to get started, so that's why I wanted to make this video now instead of nearer, well, it's nearly September anyway. But yeah, so if you have any other questions about how I'm going to use this in our home ed, let me know. I am going to kind of do one on how I'm teaching English to both boys, because I have decided not to continue with the Good and the Beautiful English curriculum, and just do it without a curriculum, because I think we ended up covering things they already knew and using that time to do that instead of using it to cover things that they needed to learn. So I just want to concentrate on what they really need to learn. And by doing it without a curriculum and doing it at our own pace, I think we are definitely going to be able to do that. But obviously I'll keep you guys up to date with that. But thank you so much for watching. I will try and list everything down below. I probably forget a few things. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.